Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. I hope you guys are ready to make it weird because it's time for your Tex Grebner Outdoors Saturday morning cartoon awesomeness. It is Illinois Archery season 2018, week number 12. Speaking of making it weird, if you want to support the channel in a way beyond simply watching the videos, you can go to TexGrebnerOutdoors.com and use the discount code of WEIRD for a 20% discount on all Tex Grebner Outdoors merchandise from now until the end of 2018. If you want a discount on Three Rivers Archery traditional archery supplies, you can use the discount code of Tex Grebner. Tex Grebner Outdoors, now powered by the Acme Corporation.
I'd been wondering where the hell all the deer were at, but that question was about to be answered. I'd also been hunting on the other side of the creek most of last week, and I decided that I might as well come over on this side of the creek just to see what was going down over here. Now, it was an unseasonably warm Illinois day, 40 degrees, so I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get down or up the hill very well because it was going to be thawing out and just be pure mud slick. So I put on my waders, and I decided that I was going to come in the bottom side of the property, but I was going to have to cross the creek to get over to this stand. Now, of course, I've got to cover about 200 yards worth of open ground next to the fence line where it's all growed up in brush in order to get to the creek where it's lowest to be able to cross it without having to come around and go down the hill. And so I found out where all the deer were when I put my boots on the creek sand because they blew out of the fence row on the wrong side of the property line where they were laid up. So I got waded across the creek and I got up into this stand, and it was just nice to be able to be in the woods when it wasn't just absolutely miserable cold. But I didn't have high hopes as to whether or not the deer were going to cross into this part of the property or not, because at least I'd figured out where the hell they were. It just wasn't doing me any good because it wasn't like I could go over there and go get them. So this hunt ticked down to a close, but there's still some season left, and I'm gonna be here till the last dog gets hung. I don't really know what's going on, and I think I'm completely screwed because for whatever reason, the viewfinder on my Canon G40 is not working. It's all black, and that's not a good thing. I'm a little bit emotional, pissed at life, my face hurts, it's after midnight, I finally got done getting this stand hung again. This tree that I'm sitting in right now is a little osage that is where the deer cross the creek. There's also a bedding area on the other side of the property line. Now, I admit that this is basically the Midwestern equivalent to filling a Montana bison tag by having to wait until the buffalo come out of Yellowstone National Park. But it's a plan that's just dumb enough to work. I just hope that, yeah, bad luck tends to be a good omen for me. And I feel like I'm basically screwed right now. So anyways, I stowed my bow in my Jeep and came back in. And so got my hip waders on, got my safety harness on, got my headlamp, go back across the creek, take down a stand, or at least that was the plan, take down a stand and some tree steps and move it over here to this spot. So I've still got my pack because I'm not sure if I'm going to try and vlog it you know, get the film in the dark of my tree stand acrobatics. So I get my camera mounts off the stand and get my bow hook off, and I've got my safety belt on the tree, and I'm taking the ratchet straps off the tree. And so the one ratchet strap is sticking. The last ratchet strap is sticking. So I give a real good hard jerk, and I lose my balance, and my safety harness slips a little bit down the tree, and I just let the stand fall. At which point, when I lost my balance, I basically kissed the tree. And I let the stand fall. And there's a bush about 10 feet off the ground where the stand hits, trampolines and bounces back off the bush and lands on my pack, and then bounces off the pack and back onto the ground. So, as far as I can tell, my teeth aren't broken, or weren't broken, but yeah, my mouth is not very comfortable right now. And yeah, this is 100% Acme Industry Wile E. Coyote shit here, because the stand drops off the tree onto a bush, trampolines, and goes 6 feet the opposite direction and lands on my pack. I was under the impression that my pack was in a very safe zone, and I wasn't going to have to worry about the stand falling on my pack. Well, now I have one camera that is, I'm not even sure if it works. And luckily I have this camera that is completely undamaged. So I have now finally got this stand set on this little Osage tree, and I'm uninjured, and I have a very expensive camera with a viewfinder that is broken, and I don't really have a safety net. There is the fact that I'm Tex Grebner, and I'm going to find a way of making it work, because the red light does come on to show that it's recording. The shutter opens and shuts, so the camera has the ability to still function, but solo hunting and trying to line up things without a viewfinder is incredibly difficult. And the only good news is that I hunted on film with action cameras without viewfinders for long enough that I basically have a pretty good instinct for setting my hard camera on the tree for how it needs to be pointed, and at least I still have this one for a fluid camera angle. And yeah, sure, good thing that I wasn't injured. Well, I mean, my mouth hurts, but I still have all my teeth. It's funny, right? Like, I can heal for free. I can heal for free. Nobody's replacing that camera. So, yeah. I feel like I'm basically screwed right now. I don't mean to seem overly ungrateful about the fact that I wasn't seriously injured or killed, and that I was more shook up about the fact that I couldn't afford to pay for a new camera. But it's the truth. I don't actually fear death. I fear dying badly, and I often say that I'm looking for a good death, because if I die, then my problems, basically, they're over. Of course, if there's an afterlife, potentially they're replaced by a whole new suite of problems. But the truth is that I'm cartoonishly durable. And Tex Grebner Outdoors is basically being brought to you by the Acme Corporation at this point. Because when I kissed that tree, it could not have been more Acme than if I'd been whacked in the face with a frying pan and had a pancake face. The good news is, yes, I didn't knock out any of my teeth, and my lips are back to normal size. I admit I feel a little bit awkward about setting up next to the property line the way that I am here, but this plan is just dumb enough to work. I know that the deer bed across the property line over in the brush. I know that the deer cross the creek here, and I know that there are trails cut deeply into the grass where the deer have been moving. And so it's really just a question of the fact that I've exhausted all my other options, so I'm getting a bit non-conventional here. No deer would expect me to be sitting in such a stupid spot that is so unlikely for success, except for the fact that if a deer does take the trail, it will be within range and potentially funneled to me by walking the fence to cross the creek. So, yeah, just dumb enough to work. The question is, it's a high-stakes game of whack-a-mole, and hunting is a visceral mystery, because I don't know if they are going to be coming past me. I don't know if they're going to be going past me, and I just have to be here and hope. I've said it before and I'll say it again, that we're all badasses in our own backyard. When you get a living, breathing creature in front of you, it all goes to shit. Nobody really likes to admit it, but it's true. And I've also said before that I don't hunt whitetail because I like it. I hunt whitetail because it's what I can afford to hunt, and it's what we've got here in Illinois to hunt. So I hunt whitetail. I fantasize, candidly, I fantasize about hunting animals with huge vitals, like, bison, or elk, or moose, or caribou. Stuff that is potentially capable of stomping my ass into the ground, but that I don't have to really worry about missing the vitals on, theoretically speaking, if I'm inside of 25 yards, provided that there's no catastrophic failure. So I took the time to actually work on making sure I was still sharp in the backyard today, because I had a long day and the daylight's getting shorter, and I really have no idea what to think about the rest of the season, or even to plan my next hunt when I'm able to get out. Now, just to clarify my sentiments on hunting megafauna like bison, the truth is that no matter how hard I practice, when it comes to traditional bow hunting a whitetail-sized animal, there is no confidence. Just to kind of bring you up to speed on what I was so upset about, as you can see, the LCD is all jacked up. Camera does turn on. Camera does record. And luckily there is redundancy to where I do at least have an eye hole, even though I don't have a functioning viewfinder. The problem is, when you're a solo hunter trying to film your hunts, this does not do me a whole lot of good, because it works fine if I'm hunting on the ground and I can walk around and set the camera, but it's an issue. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get this replaced
but I'm also not entirely sure if it's just the viewfinder, because as you can see, there's a crack right here on the flip out for the LCD. So that's basically what's going on. And season's getting a little bit desperate. So here's the question. Would you guys buy a t-shirt that said Tex Grebner Outdoors powered by Acme? Because Wile E. Coyote is my spirit animal. I'm cartoonishly durable. And life ain't like the pornos. Hunting ain't like the TV shows. I bring you the reality of my season. And I am very proud of my ability to deal with adversity. The whitetail curse is still in effect. However, it's been strangely warm for this time of year. But make no mistake, I'm going to be in it as long as I can, because I'd rather die than quit. And I'm probably going to be hunting on the wrong side of Christmas, still empty-handed. But that's just the way that it's going to be, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. I've got one good camera left, so as long as I'm able, you're still going to be getting your Tex Grebner Outdoors Saturday morning cartoon awesomeness, powered by Acme. As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect your rights. Please got my friends over at ThreeRiversArchery.com. Thank you very much to those involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. And thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.